Anra de yada enna Ghana mampeni dada abedi chiri Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia ekokopie mu ewo Nigeria na debi ameka se ade ben wo hu so mfa so ade efiri wonsa na Nigeria fo atonsa e de afra Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia se won metro mo hawa osi ma economy no etimi stable ewo Ghana na mama ready kakra emfam I think say I have it here. I say National Conference on Strengthening Democracy in Nigeria. National Conference on Strengthening Democracy in Nigeria. The Biameka say ade no open wa uhunu so mfaso ufiri hunsa there you know. Mama read more. Also theme strengthening Nigeria's democracy. Pathway to good governance and political integrity. Omotima edaso enono na eba ha say Ghana's former vice president from 2017 to 2025 chaired the economic management team driving transformative policies that strengthened the economy and governance. A visionary economist, he championed digital reforms that advanced Ghana digital economy. Yura Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia and the Ebona Baso Sana Enra 10 a.m. and Ifrasiye. Yeah, one more started and 27th at DBV and 28th January. Nigeria. Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, keynote speaker. And Odahono, former vice president of the Republic of Ghana. Or say physical attendance strictly by invitation. That's when the program when you invite her. Only when Yama Kwama room. Yeah, only when see invite to Yama Kwama room. Nigeria for say one more ehunudi what Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia entino one mebwana one democracy no enye juma. Wamra mabwa na democracy no enye juma. Wamra mabwa, I'm repeating it, na democracy enye juma. Eti Ghana yesi yempe o. Yesi ono na was specialize emma digital. Inti Ghana hakrane ya friend Mr. Digital man. Yesi yempe. Nigeria fasi hea bra yepe. Bebwa yene tre ha usima Ghana etimi ejinae. Na eno ana Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia kopi mu hono na wakunya Kenya akunya se ewo se wakasa kakra and kasa mu odin se me to do say there a course so during the election 2024 within 13 to 14 hours na wa consider defeat no it was for the benefit of the country called Ghana and you no ankasa nimdi mu ana so no ankasa ne selfishness nti na ebema Ghana kro no abonam wo yesa de no to stop violation ewo oman Ghana mu so as at 3 a.m. ahomache and na nkopese o concede defeat but enkrofo bi ne kasa ne ade and what you dey nsem bi sign to dwa but ne nsem odi to dwa no uti ma hu se I say obesa contest bi 2028. Whatever me obi nnu medu ma yafo ma me nkonko na me nkonko yenkonko ti bi emra ba e beto so dia ma.
So I believed that my concession within 14 hours of the close of the polls was in the supreme interest of Ghana's democracy. Elections were held just last month. As an incumbent vice president, I was also the ruling party candidate for the presidency. Before the election, there was the usual anxiety expressed by the opposition as well as the diplomatic community. And we have this expression of anxiety virtually in every election. But there was this anxiety expressed by the diplomatic community and the opposition about the transparency, credibility, and fairness of the impending election. The opposition claimed that government had a plan to rig the election. I believe this is a standard claim by all opposition parties in any election in Africa. Frankly, notwithstanding the above, I, as the presidential candidate of my party, I was confident in Ghana's electoral process, as the Electoral Commission had demonstrated over time fairness and transparency. In fact, in Ghana, we spent quite a lot of time on electoral reform over the years. In addition to this, I was confident of winning the election on December 7th, based on what I considered to be the solid record of achievement, notwithstanding the economic challenges we faced. However, when the polls closed on December 7th and counting began, we started receiving the results from our party's collation centers. We had set up a very elaborate scheme of collating our results, and we started receiving the results from our collation sectors. By 3 a.m. on Sunday, because the election was on Saturday, it was obvious from the data that we had received from our collation centers that my opponent, the former president and now president, John Dramani Mahama, had decisively won the election. I knew, so by 3 a.m. I had come to this conclusion that we had lost the election. I knew it would take between 48 to 72 hours for the Electoral Commission to collate and announce the official results. I was very cognizant of the tension and the potential violence that could result if there was a long, drawn-out process of announcing the results. Indeed, the tension had begun to mount. I therefore took the decision to hold a press conference at 9 a.m. the next morning. I asked for them to call the press the next morning at 9 a.m. to concede the election to my opponent, even before the EC had announced and collated the results. You can imagine how incredulous some of even my team members were about my decision to do this. They said, we have to wait for the EC. And I said, our data collation, I believe, is correct. The EC will not have any different data from what we have collected. So I believed that my concession within 14 hours of the close of the polls was in the supreme interest of Ghana's democracy and peace.
For the first time, our nurses are taking uniform allowances. For the first time.
Really?
The uniform allowance. For the first time. Yes. For the first time, that was it started 3 years ago. For the first time, our nurses are taking uniform allowances. For the first time. It started 3 years ago. Yes. So that was the reason why yes, that was the reason why I have been fighting on this app. So if I come across any nurse, student nurse or staff nurse, they were campaigning for NDC, na makuma yemeya, because right from even at the era of COVID, you know, increases salary. Nurses in Kwejuma, but near ye salary. Aside that, there was increment of salary right from 2020 now till last year. Yeah, increases salary every year. And then 3 years ago, Nana started paying for nursing allowances. And then we had a negotiation about our rent allowances and then transportation. I think they work on only the transportation. Then the transportation is so ranks. So if you are a junior rank, you are not going to benefit from that transportation. But we na yes ye kase na junior ranks no mo kita car no so mo be adwuma o mo fa car. Enti also o mo sunya transport at least bibi keto e bi kra but na ye na our hope for NPP to retain power na very high. But ambassa and say ambassa na so I'm telling you, what I'm telling you, the voice. It's for the first time in history. Not even Mahama. Yes, we have it. Yes, that for almost call for almost coupons, and then they take it to I think Goy also. No, my question say who ni car na. O de coupon ne ma will be auto Goy.
Yeah, Miss Jane Kaya, now what say you way ungrateful people out to each day.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah,
It's true. Me say nurses no home. Sister, me say I am me ya pa me onim say uniform allowance say why increasing now to 1,000 Ghana now. It was 400 until after taking the taxes out of it na yenya 300. But say why increase ya 1,000. Last year and increment no started ban. Now we have issues with the psychiatric nurses. Until more the assembly court, I feel no more really out the issue. I say 1,000 last year, yes, no more better this year, so uniform no, or more better 1,000 for the first time 3 years. So, and another started to see a uniform. I have come across some videos. I'm commenting on this same uniform allowances, and the people have been supporting me say it's true, it's true, it's true. No, that's why I said it started 3 years ago. For the first in the history, the voice it has not happened before. For the first time in history, not in Kofor's regime, not in Mahama or Atame's regime. No, for the first time we are taking uniform allowances. Yes.
Sorry, voice.
And
I
then,
thought you want to close.
and then the salary increment and so is mind blowing. I'm telling you. Now, sure. And then the uniform too is.
so Miss Jane, the voice.
Se koko tie ya na ya Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia na Nigeria for ato nsade afrense womra na womba kire de utimi ye o ma ne kuro no etimi ejina ye especially in digitalization utimi ema ye kama na nti Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia sem no eka sei na ni kire Nigeria woni omo edin komo akakra na nondumpo abo apa ho 11 abo ya me no kase woni omo edin komo eno nti na obetimi akwakonya bi ahwe ebebro bi nso ma won so otie mu de ekoso Ashanti media medin e de odeman komo ba na Kofi from Ashanti gudi.